Little light started. Good morning. Let everybody get a seat. Okay. Welcome to the River Road Unitarian Universalist Congregation. I am Reverend Connie Simon, your interim minister and your worship associate and ringleader for today. If this is your first time here in person, we welcome you. Thank you. We hope that you will stop by the welcome table so we can get to know you and get you connected. For those of you who are watching live on YouTube, good morning, YouTube. Please feel free to join in the chat with our online host. If you're watching at a later date and you have questions, please visit the website to learn how to connect with us. I have some announcements. One, General Assembly, which is the time when Unitarian Universalists across the country and the world come together to decide what our rules should be, how we want to operate, what social justice things we're going to support. That is happening in June, and River Road has delegates to that conference. So far, we've had a few people sign up, but you have 11 delegates to fill. If you want to be a delegate, please let me know. We will get you signed up so that you can be a voting representative for River Road. There are two very important things on the agenda at General Assembly this year. One involving how ministers are treated by congregations and by UUA staff. It's kind of complicated, and I'll hold a conversation on the 3rd to explain all of it. If this passes at General Assembly, it's going to apply to River Road, whether you want it to or not. So come, learn what it's about, and then we're going to gather the congregation's opinions on it so that your votes can be represented in the Assembly. Also, if you are young or young at heart or just feel like being more casual, come up and have a seat on the squares. There's good company up here. And if you'd like to meet with some of our families or you'd just like to know more about what's happening in religious education, there is a brunch downstairs at 11:15. Shelter Week starts now and runs through April 18th. Check out the table at coffee hour to see how you can still help provide food and supplies for 2 Interfaith Works women's shelters. You can also sign up for empty spots on the Sign Up Genius linked in the e-weekly. As we all know, our economy, our nation, everything is really scary right now, and many people are operating on less than shoestring budgets and need help. If you can support Shelter Week, please do. It's also time to donate to the River Road Spring Auction. Donations are due April 27th, the day after the vote on the new minister. Bidding will happen in early May. The online auction is mainly for experiences, services, and gift certificates, plus homemade food, gifts, cards, and personalized things. There are also, new this year, themed baskets from the RE classes. To find out more, stop by the table in the fellowship hall, visit the auction webpage, or just ask anyone that you see who's got an... Do you guys, Sue, are you wearing auction ribbons? No ribbons? Okay. Then check the links in the e-weekly so that you can click there and get information on how to participate. Details for this and all of our other programs can be found on our website at rruuc.org.
We begin our time together by lighting our chalice, the chosen symbol of our faith, with these words by Anthony Johnson. Let us call upon the Spirit that moves among us, below us, above us, and through us. Let us call upon those who have gone before us, who have shown us the way, who have been with us as guides and examples. Let us call upon ourselves to imagine, to dream, and to do, that the future may build on the past, but not be confined by the past, that the future we imagine will be a new thing, and much more, and different, and better than anything we could imagine.
Thank you. Please rise in body or spirit, and let's sing our opening hymn, number 1008, When Our Heart is in a Holy Place. You sound good this morning. I hope you're coming with lots of energy and spirit, because this is a Spirit Sunday. And of course, that means there will be work for you to do. Okay? So I'm going to start with a reading that's called The New Minister is Weird by Karen Krutzinger. Bet she knows she's odd, the church crone says. I'm confused. Who? The new minister. I look around, still have no clue where or who she is. Lady in the blue polka dot shirt, the crone hisses. I finally spot her sitting behind a potted plant. She is the new minister? Head nod. The crone's eyes are more snake-like than I remembered. She is weird. Look at those shoes. The newcomer would have fit in well in any city of the world. A bit too sophisticated for this town of 2,061 in Nebraska. I walk toward her, determined to give her a warm welcome. "I think I wore the wrong shoes," she says. I smile. I like her immediately. So, shoes. Here's the thing about meeting a new minister. You want to know, are they funny? Are they kind? Do they preach too long? Are their sermons intellectual? Is it spiritual? Will they remember my name? Can they handle a committee that often goes off the rails in the first 7 minutes? Diana, that laugh was too loud. But first, apparently, we check their shoes. And I get it. Because when you're meeting someone for the first time, you are taking in everything. You're reading their signals. You're scanning for clues. It's like the world's most spiritual first date or job interview or something. You're sitting there thinking, do I like this person? Could I listen to this person every single Sunday forever? What if they don't like us? And the other person is sitting behind a potted plant thinking, I think I wore the wrong shoes. Now, I've been your interim here for almost 2 years, and I want you to know something. I have worn the same sneakers every single Sunday for the past year. Every single Sunday. Sometimes with a big psychedelic boot on my left foot, but thankfully that's in a corner of the closet. Did you notice? Of course you noticed, but you were very nice about it. So here's what I've learned about my time with you, River Road. You're really good at welcome. You show up, you bring food, and not just any food. If Marcia's in charge, I know there's going to be really, really good food and a lot of it. You try your best to learn names. You do your very best to make space. You know how to open the door. But next week, you're not just opening the door. Next week, you're opening your hearts. You're getting ready to meet someone who, in all likelihood, will become your minister, your settled minister. And that's a big deal. We're going to talk more about that later this morning, about what candidating week looks like how to show up with a curious mind and a grateful heart, and about the beautiful and slightly terrifying process of choosing to be in relationship with someone that you've only just met. But before we do all that grown-up stuff, I want us to hear a story. Because our kids already know something that we adults sometimes forget. They know that welcome isn't about whether someone looks like you, or talks like you, or has the same education as you do, or makes the same amount of money as you do, or wears the right shoes. They know that welcome is about making room. So let's hear a story about making room, even for elephants.
Strictly No Elephants, written by Lisa Manchev, illustrated by Taeyeon Yu. For my grandmother, Harriet, the first artist I knew, L.M. To Borium with love, T.Y. The trouble with having a tiny elephant for a pet is that you never quite fit in. Every day I take my elephant for a walk. His is a very thoughtful sort of walk. He doesn't like the cracks in the sidewalk much. I always go back and help him over. That's what friends do. Lift each other over the cracks. Today I'm walking my tiny elephant to number 17. It's Pet Club Day, and everyone will be there. Come along, there's a good boy. I coax him the last few feet. It'll be fine. When I look up, there's a sign on the door. Strictly no elephants. My tiny elephant leads me back to the sidewalk, never minding the cracks. That's what friends do. Brave the scary things for you. Did you try to go to the pet club meeting too? The girl asks. Yes, I say, but they don't allow elephants. The sign didn't mention skunks, the girl says, but they don't want us to play with them either. They don't know any better, I tell her. He doesn't stink, the girl adds. No, he doesn't, I agree. What if we start our own club? Come along, I say, making certain that my tiny elephant follows me, because that's what friends do. Never leave anyone behind. We can play here, one of our new friends says. All of us. So we paint our own sign. Strictly no strangers, no spoil sports. Crossed that out. All are welcome. My tiny elephant will give you directions if you need them. Because that's what friends do.
What do you think about that story? What's that say about being welcoming? I'm going to have a conversation with you guys. And I've been going back and forth about whether I'm going to sit on the steps or sit in the chair, and I just told Laura I'm going to sit on the steps, but that doesn't feel like a good idea. So I'm going to take this chair. And I want to, hands up already. What's going on? I didn't ask the question yet. Well, I did. I did ask that question. I asked, what did you think about the story? I don't know is what he thought about the story. Another question? We need a microphone. Can we get one of the handhelds for these guys? Making enough room for other people. That's what it's a story about. So let me ask you guys this. How are you going to make room for a new minister? Because I'm not going to be here anymore. There's going to be a new person. He's going to come and visit you for 2 weeks, next week and the week after. And then everybody's going to decide if you like him. And if you like him, he's going to be here forever, starting in August. So what do you think about that? How's that feel? Feels good? Yeah, it does feel good, doesn't it? What questions do you want to know? Or what advice would you give him? What good advice would you give?
Like advice for things that feel good to the new minister.
Oh, like what? What would feel good?
Like being quiet when the minister is talking.
Be quiet when the minister is talking. That would be a challenge, wouldn't it? Yeah, I think so. What other advice would you give? Or questions do you have about the new minister? I see that intense look. What questions do you all have? So let me share with you some of the advice that I was given when I was doing this. So long time ago, I used to be the kind of minister that just stayed in one place. I didn't move around all the time. And before I came there, all the kids gave me advice. They all wrote down advice. You won't even be able to guess what the best advice was. Don't stab people with a knife. I know, can you believe it? Somebody actually told me that, and I kind of thought, okay, what am I getting myself into? You know what it was? When they had potlucks, they used to have, they would invite people who didn't have a place to live to come and live in the church for a while, and every night people in the church would cook them dinner. And this little girl was just learning how to use her knife and fork, and learning that they are not toys at the table. So her mother would tell her, don't stab people with your knife. So it's perfectly good advice, but nobody told me about that. So I just started worrying, are these kids going to try to stab me in the dark? But they didn't. Another piece of advice that I got was always bring donuts. If you always bring donuts, we will like you. I didn't always bring donuts, but there was always some kind of food. That must be a UU thing, that there must always be food. So I tell that story, even though now that little girl is in high school, about to graduate. I'm hoping that she's not stabbing people with knives right now. I doubt that she is. So what advice do you have? Oh, more advice.
Don't hurt people with your fork.
That's good. That's really, really good. If I'm not going to stab them with a knife, I shouldn't hurt them with the fork. And odds are I probably should leave the spoon alone too, shouldn't I? I'm with you. Mm-hmm. Go ahead. Whisper, whisper, whisper.
Don't hurt people with your spoon.
Don't hurt people with the spoon. You guys are fixated on these utensils. I should have known this was a thing. Behind you, Laura.
Don't take people's eyes out with spoons.
Okay, I see I've taken us down the road to utensil something or other. Utensil utopia. Okay, if you don't have any more questions, that's okay. You good? One more question? One more advice? One more something? Two more, okay.
So we can treat him, and we can and we can go to coffee hour or we
Yeah,
can go to coffee hour when the service is over.
exactly. So how about it's be nice, say hi, introduce yourselves. Oh, one more.
If you don't have an arm, don't chop off other people's arm to you.
Oh my goodness. Okay, we've really devolved here. I'm going to leave people's arms alone. But we're going to be nice. We're going to say hello. We're going to introduce ourselves. We're going to remember that he will not remember everybody's names right away. Look at how long it took me to remember everybody's names, right? We're going to invite him to coffee hour afterward. And we're going to make space for elephants, always, and skunks. All right, you guys. Thank you for the story and for the throwing around the butter and whatever's going on here. Whatever's going on here. Now, next week, they'll be all full of questions and wondering what is going on. So that's the advice that our youth have. But now I want to hear from you all. As is our practice on Spirit Sunday, we do stones and water. And we have 2 microphones. We had stands out here, but they disappeared. But we're going to get the stands back. And we're going to put the microphones, one on that side, one on that side. And I'm going to invite you guys to come up, stop at a microphone on your way, and with 1 word or 2, say what advice you have or what you want to give to the new minister. What's your gift? What are you bringing to candidating week? And bless that stone and drop it in the water. Okay? We got it? And because we need this not to take 3 hours, we're going to go 2 sides. So as you come up to the microphone, alternate who's speaking. Okay? And Cliff's going to give us some traveling music. And I'm going to ask you guys to come up around the outside and go back down the center. Okay. Ready? Let's start. Here we go.
Be yourself.
Okay. Up.
Do good things to the minister and be nice.
Please
Play your
favorite
bass.
advice.
I like it.
Have fun with us.
Open-heartedness.
Warm welcome.
I will bring enthusiasm.
A second warm welcome. Continue with lots of poetry and music.
Circumspection.
Grace for early fumbles.
Patience.
Kindness.
Open-minded
time.
curiosity.
Oh, alternate. Go ahead, Jan.
Open-minded curiosity.
Take your time.
Challenge us.
Open heart.
Do you want to say what to bring? What your welcome is? Okay.
Have fun.
Interest.
Offer grace.
Music.
Improvise.
Be open.
Acceptance.
Love.
Good job.
Gratitude.
Warmth. Give grace for mistakes, and I will give you grace for yours.
Bring joy.
I was going to say grace too.
Enlighten.
Ooh, I like it.
Joy as well.
Change.
Bring energy.
Energy.
Energetic.
I like it. Energetic.
The thrill of being a you and a storyteller of our history.
Bring kindness.
Yes.
Be excited.
Anybody else who hasn't had a chance, come on up.
Sorry, sweetheart.
You already did one.
Gratefulness.
Okay. Yay.
Share your jazz with us.
Yay. There you go. Lots of gifts that you are bringing this morning. Lots of advice, lots of words of welcome. You're going to have a chance a little later to write them down as we build a welcome wall for Reverend James. So if you didn't get up and drop in a stone, be ready to write down a thought. Okay. This morning, we come with excitement. We come with joy. We come with eagerness. We come with gratitude. We come with smiles for a blue sky and a nice day. All the while realizing that in some places, it's not like this. In some places, there is still hurt. There is still grief. There is still sorrow. That is our cycle of life. We balance our joys and our sorrows every day. We hold them tenderly, jointly, and together. So for all of the joys and the sorrows that you are carrying on your heart right now, let's take a moment of silent meditation, reflection, or prayer, after which Lisa and Jan will lead us in singing.
I know this rose will open. I know my fear will burn away. I know my soul will unfurl its wings. I know this rose will open. I know this rose will open. I know my fear will burn away. I know my soul will unfurl its wings. I know this rose will open. I know this rose will open. I know my fear will burn away. I know my soul will unfurl its wings. I know this rose will open. I know this rose will open. I know my fear will burn away. I know my soul will unfurl its wings. I know this rose will open. My soul will open.
Good morning. Thank you for this opportunity to speak today. My name is Robert Goldman, and I'm a member of River Road, but today I am here as the president of Montgomery Housing Partnership, or MHP. So, no, we are River Road cheers today. In the In the late 1980s, River Road's minister, Reverend Bill Murray, became very concerned about the high cost of housing in Montgomery County, and he started speaking out about the need for affordable housing. Before long, a group of housing activists and religious leaders were meeting regularly here in the fireside room to discuss this issue. From those discussions, the idea of starting a nonprofit to develop affordable housing arose, and MHP was born in 1989. MHP's mission is to provide quality, affordable housing in Montgomery County and the region. Our mission rests on three pillars: housing people, empowering families, and strengthening neighborhoods. Today, we serve nearly 6,000 residents, actively building and preserving affordable housing, from senior housing in Rockville to mixed-use arts and housing developments in Wheaton to large apartment communities like Unity Place in D.C. Each home represents quality, stability, and dignity. MHP's housing work involves buying older apartment buildings, fixing them up, and maintaining them as affordable housing, as well as buying land and building new properties from the ground up. We are most excited that we recently completed the residences at Forest Glen, redeveloping a 70-unit dilapidated development into 189 homes within walking distance of the Forest Glen Metro. We currently own 38 properties representing 3,250 homes for low-income seniors and families. But our work is about more than the bricks and the mortar. It's also about the people that live at our properties. For us, success is not just providing someone housing, but making sure that the people that live at our properties have the opportunities to succeed. Through our community life programs, we support more than 400 children and teens with preschool, homework help, and teen leadership programs. Our work is about helping to close the learning gaps and helping our kids succeed in school. We also strengthen neighborhoods around where affordable housing is located through food distribution, healthcare outreach, career counseling, scholarships, and small business support. Our work is about investing in the community through physical improvements, such as housing work, street and sidewalk improvements, and murals. But our work is also about investing in the people that live in the community, providing them with the tools to advocate for their community. Recently, our work helped the Long Branch community in Silver Spring receive a very distinguished Maryland Main Street designation, a major milestone showing what sustained community investment can achieve. If you'd like to learn more about MHP, we hold a series of tours giving people a chance to see our properties, meet residents, and better understand our work. We'll be in the fellowship hall in the coffee hour if you'd like to sign up. But before I conclude my remarks, I want to introduce Isis Ayala, an MHP resident and an MHP community health worker who brings this work to life through her own experience.
Buenos días. My name is Isis Ayala. I am a resident of MHP Amherst Pembridge property in Wheaton. I live there with my daughter and my husband. I am also an MHP community health worker. This is a special program where we help residents gain access to health resources. For example, we organize events where people can get preventative care, vaccines, and more. We also run a food and diapers pantry. Many families do not have medical insurance or enough money to buy food. They truly rely on this service. Most people in our community speak Spanish. Community health workers like me speak their language and understand their challenges. We are a lifeline for our neighbors. One other thing that is special about its MHP is its backpack drive. Each year, my daughter receives a new backpack and supply for school. As a parent, I am grateful for this support. It's helped a lot because there are so many other costs for our families to manage. I know many other people in community who appreciate the backpacks and toy drives so much. To me, housing is a basic need. Everyone deserves a safe and comfortable place to call home. I am grateful to be part of MHP, an organization that cares about residents. Without your support, MHP could not do its important work. Thank you.
Thank you, Isis. I want to thank River Road for supporting MHP through the Extended Offering Program. Your support, as you heard, will help MHP purchase backpacks and school supplies for the kids at our properties. I remember myself as a kid how getting a new backpack and school supplies brought so much excitement as I started the new school year. Unfortunately, many families are living paycheck to paycheck, and the added expense of a new backpack and school supplies can be overwhelming. MHP's Backpack Drive is an important step to serving those in need and providing dignity for students and families. As I end my presentation, let me say, as someone who grew up here attending River Road as a kid, it is a great honor to be carrying out Reverend Murray's vision. While I did not know him while he was at River Road, I did get to know him when he moved back to the area later in his life before he passed away. One of the things he said was that his involvement in affordable housing was one of the most satisfying things he ever did, and one of which he was very proud. In 1993, he was honored for his work with a very special Montgomery County Affordable Housing Award. We remain deeply grateful for Bill's legacy and leadership. Thank you.
If you would like to support MHP through our Extend the Offering program, please feel free to drop your donation into the offering basket as it passes by. You may also give online on our website, rruuc.org, or by text at 73256. So you text to that number. And you can give on Realm. When you do so, you'll receive instructions on how to select your gift. Click the drop-down box and choose Extend the Offering Montgomery Housing Partners. Our offering will now be gratefully received. Thank you. Thank you, Cliff and Beethoven. So just a couple of words this morning about what's going to happen. Some of you, I know, have already watched the little video that Natalie and I put out. And some of you still don't know what's going on. And some of you were surprised when you saw the little blue pieces of paper this morning. What's this about? So we're in all stages of knowing and understanding, right? But everybody's clear on one thing. It's important. So I started this morning by sharing with you that reading about shoes. It's a little funny. It's a little tongue-in-cheek, and it's very real. It's very, very real for those of us who choose to be ministers, and you show up and you know they're looking at you up and down. What do you wear? How is your hair? What do you say? How kind are you? Et cetera, et cetera. For some of us, we may think these are superficial things. For others, they kind of may have hidden meanings. I have a colleague who is a young white woman minister who was not married at the time she came to the congregation. And people thought it was okay to ask her when she was getting married and if she was going to have kids. She became their minister and stayed for 23 years. And during that time, she did get married, had children, and got divorced. And throughout the process, people thought it was okay to comment on everything from the length of her dresses, to her hair, to whether she was dating again already, and would that be good for the children. Sometimes our congregations think they have the right to know a lot about us. Sometimes in their well-meaningness, in their desire to learn more about folks, they ask questions that can be a little inappropriate. I interviewed at a congregation that I knew was very, very, very history-focused. And if you know anything about me right now, you know that I'm kind of into history. I chair our UU Studies Network. I'm really into history. I met with the search committee. We had a really, really good conversation. One person on the search committee, I could tell, was busting his gut for me to come there. He was so excited. About 2 hours after the interview, he called me, which was a little out of the norm of the process, and said, "Oh my gosh, you know so much about history. You're exactly what we need for our almost 300-year-old congregation, but the other members are afraid that because you're black, you'll talk about race." When ranking time came, I didn't even list them as a place that I would be willing to go. These are extreme examples, but they're things that have really happened. They really happened. And they're all important because this is the beginning of a new relationship. How you show up matters. How he shows up will matter. How you interact, how you are welcoming will matter. You're about to make a really, really big decision. And for many of you, this is the only time you're going to get to do this. Just by a show of hands, how many of you have been at a UU congregation where you had the opportunity to vote for a settled minister? Little less than half. For those of you who have your hands up, how many of them was that Reverend Nancy? Okay, that's what I figured. So, 14 years ago, right? For most folks, it's something that doesn't get to happen often. Although I will say that as ministry changes and as the world changes, the tenure of ministers is starting to change. The days of ministers coming and staying 30 years doesn't really happen anymore. Now the tenure is closer to 8. For people of color, it's less. For ministers who identify as disabled, it's less. For ministers who identify as trans or gender nonconforming or non-binary, it's less. And this process, this important process, is totally rooted in our history. It comes from our time as early congregational Christians from 1648. It's all written down. And it is where congregations all over we still do it now, they vote, because calling a minister is the most sacred thing a group of people can do. All over the country right now, this week, people are preparing to meet their new ministers. Congregations have also been finding out that their long-term ministers, the person who's been with them, is leaving, is retiring, is just moving on. And in some cases, their ministers have been asked not to stay. So there are all kinds of separations that have happened. And in many of the cases, this year there were 14 plus one situations where people were looking for a brand new, permanent, settled minister to come in and be with them for a long time. Almost all of those 14 got somebody. A few did not. So River Road is in a good position to be one of them. I said plus one. That was a special situation that we call an inside candidate, meaning they already had two ministers and they wanted to elevate the second minister. So those congregations who did not match, they'll go into what's called the second round. And that's okay. It doesn't mean there's anything wrong with them. It doesn't mean that there's anything wrong with the ministers who weren't invited to be the candidate somewhere. It just means that that wasn't the right match at the right time. And in some cases, there were congregations whose pledge drive wasn't as successful as yours, or whose budget didn't work out, and they had to cut their expectations of having a full-time minister down to having a half-time minister, or maybe even a quarter-time minister. Or in one situation that happened 3 years ago, a 9% time minister. Those are realities. And there are congregations, a few of them, that are struggling right now with not being able to keep their buildings or even stay open because their memberships are dwindling. None of those is your story. You, my friends, have the opportunity to bring in a ministerial candidate with a budget that will support his salary, with a board that welcomes him, with a full staff of people. And you'll get that opportunity to meet him next week. And the way that he was chosen through your input, through your surveys, your focus groups, your search committee. Yay. They did all the hard work. They wrote your profile, which is your Match.com thing, but you know. They wrote that. They reviewed all the packets of all the ministers who were interested in coming here. They interviewed people. They narrowed it down. They invited those people to come in and visit. They came here when none of us were around. They visited the building. They submitted their preferences. They narrowed it down. And the ministers who visited did the same thing. And there's a match. Yay. No more wondering, what if we don't get a candidate? Because I had you all asking me that all the time. What if we don't match? I'm like, you'll match, you'll match. You matched. But it doesn't mean it's a done deal yet. He's coming to see you in person. He'll preach 2 sermons. He'll conduct a number of activities with you, get to know you. You'll get your chance to be welcoming, to say elephants and skunks both are welcome here at River Road. We're glad you are here. And then you'll make a decision as a congregation. You will vote. And after you vote, he has the opportunity to say, yes, I accept. And there will be parties, and there will be cake, and there will be dancing. Right? Right. So my invitation to you is to come to candidating week with a grateful heart. Grateful for your search committee for doing the preliminary hard work for you. Come with a curious mind, without expectations that they will do what you want them to do, but with curiosity. What do you bring to River Road? What can we learn from you? What gifts can you share with us? I invite you to do your work next week, to show up at the events, to register on Realm so that we know who is coming, how many people are coming, so that we have enough chairs in the room, enough food in the room, all the things. Ask questions. If you want to know something, this is the time to ask the questions. Google him like you haven't already been doing that, because I know you have. Every time I have been in search or interim or even intern, my YouTube channel views go way up because people want to go watch past sermons. They want to find out, like, who is she? Google him if you haven't already. And then, in the time-honored tradition of our faith, vote. Vote on April 26th. We have been putting the notices out there since February to tell you what the requirements are to vote. If you have met them, you are on the list of eligible voters. The time has passed to say, oh, I'm not sure. So the voting list is set. But even if you are not a voting member, please come and participate. Your input is welcome, because on April 27th, you don't get to say, nobody asked me. I didn't have a say in who the candidate was. You don't get a chance to say that. This is the opportunity. Please show up. And you will be able to do it without me. I'm not going to be here. I'm going to be working really hard this coming week, and then I disappear from the 18th through the 26th, actually the 27th. So unless it involves fire, blood, death, destruction, you're not going to see me during candidating week. And then when I get back, we will rejoice together that you have called a new minister, and we'll get back down to work because we have stuff we have to finish this year. We can celebrate, but we also have to get to work. So this is your time. Enjoy it. It is exciting. It is historical. It's everything. I wish you the very, very, very best, and pray that it's the beginning of a long and beautiful relationship. Okay? And now I want to give you the opportunity to write a little note of welcome for Reverend James. When you came in this morning, we had little Post-its and pencils. We're going to put all those Post-it notes on one long piece of paper that'll be on the bridge. So after service is over, you'll be able to go out there and put yours up. If you did not pick up the Post-it note, raise your hand. Terry's coming around, passing some out right now. Cliff's going to give us a little bit of music, and you'll just have a couple of minutes to write it down. Okay, let's go. If you didn't get to finish writing, you can finish right after the service. The paper will be out on the bridge, and we'll put them all up. For right now, though, I'd like to invite you to rise, embody your spirit, so we can sing our closing hymn. This is a hymn of excitement. It has its roots in the African American tradition, and it was an invitation to go to freedom. So we're going to sing it as going to the land of possibility, of new beginnings, and of joy. So let's sing Come and Go With Me. Okay.
Extinguishing our chalice and reciting aloud together these words by Elizabeth Sell Jones. We extinguish this flame, but not the light of truth, the warmth of community, or the fire of commitment. These we carry in our hearts until we are together again.
Oh, friends, there is so much to hold right now. All the joys and sorrows and worries and gladness of the world, the coming of spring, the fear of the coming of spring and what it means for our country, for our nation, our concerns for the greater world, our joys for the work of our own congregation. Hold them all. Hold them all as well as you can. Know that it's okay if you need to let something drop now and then. Know that it's okay if you're feeling multiple joys, multiple sorrows, multiple angers all at the same time. Have fun over the next 2 weeks, and I'll see you on the other side. Go in peace.